start cooking, you're gonna need some equipment. You have to have some equipment in order to do it. The more you get into cooking, the more your equipment's gonna expand, and you're gonna expand into not just having a couple of pots and pans, but you might get a whole set of pots and pans. You might not have just one knife, you'll have many knives. You'll not just have one particular electronic device, you might have 15 or 10 different electronic devices that do many other different things. But when you first start out, it's important to try to get a few things ahead of time. Now, these aren't absolutely necessary, but they're gonna make your time in the kitchen a lot easier. And so I wanna give you an idea of what you should be thinking about adding to your collection when you first start cooking. Now, I'm gonna tell you the first thing you should try to get more than anything else, more than cookware, more than anything else, is a chef's knife. Now, this is a chef's knife. This is a Wüsthof Classic. These run about $100 to $125, and I've had this knife for, I want to say, 17 years. It has been through a lot. You can see there's a couple scratches on the end of it. But it's been through a lot, and it still is a wonderfully solid knife. Now, when you're looking for a knife, you want to look for something called a full tang. Now, the full tang means that this piece of metal runs all the way down into the handle. That means that if your handle starts to break, the whole knife won't fall apart. There'll still be something to hold on to, even if your handle starts to fall off, and then you can just replace the handle. You can still use it while it's broken, in fact. So you want to make sure you get something like this. This shows you that the knife is quality made. There's cheaper knives out there. There's a lot cheaper knives out there than this knife. They sell one, I think it's called Victorinox is the name of the company. And it is also a full tang knife, but it has a plastic handle. I've seen many people use these knives. I hear they're very good. I don't own one myself because, like I said, I bought this 17 years ago and I've never had to buy another one. And so this is one of those investments you make in your kitchen that lasts a lifetime. And so this is really important. Why is it important to have a great knife? It's important because most of the things you do in the kitchen, you have to cut. You have to cut things up into bite-sized portions. You have to cut things up in order to fit them in a pot. This knife will not only be able to cut vegetables, but you can, with the heel of this knife, you'll be able to cut bones. You'll be able to crack bones open. This is going to be a knife that you use 80 to 90% of the time in the kitchen. So you're going to want to find a good chef's knife. Find one that fits your hand. This one here is an 8-inch. I have a 10-inch one as well. Now the 8-inch one my wife can handle. It's a little big for her, but it's a perfect size for me. The 10-inch one is also. My wife can't actually handle, her hands are too small to handle the 10-inch one. I'm going to show you the one that is actually perfect for her. This is a small ceramic knife, okay? And this one was relatively inexpensive. Ceramic is another type of material that you can use to cut with. Now, the ceramic knife here, this can't actually really cut bone because it might chip. And so this is really mostly a vegetable knife. But this is a perfect size for her. This would be about a 6-inch Japanese-style chef's knife. This is the perfect size for her hand. This one and the 10-inch are perfect size for my hand. So go out and find one that fits your hand. Grab it, hold it, see what it feels like, and then make sure you get yourself a quality chef's knife because it's going to last you forever. You're also going to want to learn how to use one of these. Now, this is a steel. Mine is made out of steel, but you can also find these made out of ceramic. These are relatively inexpensive, and you need one of these with your new chef's knife. So the way a knife stays sharp is that microscopically, there's a bunch of little teeth. There's tiny little teeth all the way down this blade. And as you grind it, it grinds little teeth into it. But as I cut with it, those teeth come out of line. They get out of line. And so what you want to do with the steel is take those teeth and put them so that they're more in line than they were before. The way to do that is to hold your steel. And this is going to take a while to get good with, so I want you to practice this. I hold this at about a 45-degree angle, so this here to here is 45 degrees. The knife is about a 20-degree angle onto the steel. And so if you look here, I want to put it in at about a 20-degree angle. And then I want to slide it towards myself like that. It's going to slide, and as it slides, I pull it alongside the steel. And I do this to each side, about 20-degree angle, about a 20-degree angle. Now this is very awkward for me because that's not normally where I hold it, but I will show you what it looks like in the big camera here. When I hold it out at about a 45-degree angle. This fits at about a 20-degree angle to it. And then I slide, slide, slide. It's going to take a while to get good with this. You're not going to be able to do this quickly. You're not going to be able to do this without looking at it for a long time. That's okay. It's going to take you a bit, but once you're able to do this, this means that you're going to be able to basically take your knife from a relatively dull knife into a knife that is it's a lot sharper than it was a few moments ago. The one way you're going to cut yourself in the kitchen is with a dull knife, because if you try to cut something, and as I try to cut it, the knife doesn't pierce it, instead it starts to roll, especially something round, it can roll towards you, it can cut. You're going to cut yourself way more frequently with a dull knife than you ever will with a sharp knife. And so keeping your knife nice and sharp is absolutely important. So first thing you want to do, go out, find yourself a nice chef knife, get yourself a steel, make sure you keep your knife nice and sharp, and that's going to be the first step you're going to want to take when you start cooking.